Roman Reigns angry with the Bloodline after WWE Raw, the best and worst of Raw. Brock Lesnar botches on WWE Raw with Omos ahead of WrestleMania 39. Former US champion replacing Bray Wyatt as Bobby Lashley's WrestleMania 39. Liv Morgan gets sued. Cody Rhodes makes a demand from Roman Reigns. Let's jump right into it. The best and worst of Raw. Welcome to this week's edition of the best and worst of Raw. We are less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania 39, and this was admittedly one of the weaker episodes. A lot of good happened as well, but sometimes certain aspects of the show can derail its momentum or affect the perception. So what were the ups and downs of Monday Night Raw this week? Keep watching to find out. Number 3. Best Maximum Male Models and Otis. Chad Gable spent much of the night searching for Otis, even handing out flyers to find him. Right before he caught him, he was met by Mustafa Ali, who had a complete character change. Chad Gable spotted Otis in a photo shoot and tried to get involved. Otis walked away with Maxine Dupree and the other two, signaling that the Maximum Male Models faction has recruited former Raw Tag Team Champion Otis to its ranks. It's a fun story, and we can't wait to see how things play out. Number 3. Worst. The Asuka-Bianca Belair feud is disappointing so far. Bianca Belair struggled to beat Chelsea Green, or at least struggled to some extent. Either way, it wasn't the squash everyone thought it was, which is good. Chelsea Green and Carmella launched a post-match attack on the Raw Women's Champion, and Asuka came for the save. Asuka toyed with the champion and her title until she revealed the blue liquid in her mouth. It was just odd, and something is lacking in this feud, which is supposed to be one of the marquee matches for WrestleMania 39. Number 2. Best. A solid opening to Monday Night Raw. Edge opened the show on Raw and accepted Finn Balor's WrestleMania challenge. Except, it's not a regular match, it will be inside Hell in a Cell. Balor agreed and ordered the other 3 members to beat Edge down before Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis, and Candice LeRae interfered to make the save. It was an interesting interaction, and the match was good, with Johnny Gargano losing his first match on Raw in nearly 4 months. Number 2. Worst. Not handling the Brock Lesnar-Omos interaction the right way. The Brock Lesnar-Omos interaction on Raw went alright until the latter botched the over-the-top rope spot. He sent Lesnar packing, and in an uncharacteristic moment, Brock Lesnar simply walked away, tipping his hat in what seemed to be a sign of respect. Lesnar will likely win at WrestleMania anyway, but the segment felt too abrupt and more should have happened. With that said, we understand WWE wants to establish Omos as a serious threat in this feud. Number 1. Best. The Dominik and Rey Mysterio segment. The Dominik Mysterio-Rey Mysterio segment on Raw was fantastic. Dominik has improved leaps and bounds and finally challenged his father to a match at WrestleMania 39, a challenge that was declined. Dominik carried this segment and was so good at getting heat and getting sympathy for his father. We can't wait to see the pop when Rey finally lays his hands on his son. It's been a good story so far, and we can't wait to see their match at WrestleMania 39. Number 1. Worst. An underwhelming main event. The main event saw Kevin Owens face Solo Sikoa, arguably the most overprotected star in WWE, sans Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. We're not sure why WWE insists on him not losing, but that perhaps signals big plans for the future. Either way, Kevin Owens faced him in a street fight, and the main event was simply not good. The spot where Owens went through a table was the only highlight, as the Usos were backstage waiting to ambush KO. KO received no help as he didn't ask for any, and that was the end of the show. It wasn't a good finish. Brock Lesnar botch on WWE Raw with Omos ahead of WrestleMania 39. The mainstay of WWE Raw, Brock Lesnar is both gold inside the ring as well as on the mic. His abilities have been honed by the cowboy character, which brings out his natural self. The world champion has put on countless emphatic promos to hype his matches, but his latest has left a sour taste in everybody's mouths. Tonight on the Red Brand, Brock Lesnar and Omos confronted each other before their WrestleMania 39 showdown. Both superstars didn't say a word and shook hands instead. However, things slowly turned chaotic. The Nigerian giant refused to let go of Lesnar's hand, which prompted the Beast to attack. His attempts were thwarted by the 7'3" Omos, who jostled his rival outside the ring. The segment on WWE Raw gave legitimacy to Omos as a viable threat to Brock Lesnar. However, fans were critical of the botched ending. The Giant tried to throw Lesnar over the top rope, but the latter got tangled. Ultimately, he managed to clothesline Lesnar, who wasn't amused by the scenario. Fans speculated Brock failed to launch himself over the top rope. The blame is shared by Omos, who could have put more effort into his throw. Fans have been critical of their booking for WrestleMania 39, and the beginning of their rivalry hasn't helped at all. It remains to be seen how Lesnar will punish the Nigerian Giant after having to retreat tonight. Brock Lesnar is doing an excellent job of putting his opponents over. He recently put on a great match against Bobby Lashley at Elimination Chamber. Meanwhile, Omos is being given multiple chances to showcase his potential. The 400-pounder previously fought Braun Strowman, and the bout lived up to expectations. He could be a top star on WWE Raw if the company continues to focus on his strengths. Four-time WWE World Champion Kurt Angle believes Brock Lesnar vs. Omos for WrestleMania 39 is the perfect booking. The Beast Incarnate has always found himself feuding for the main event scene. His former rival feels it is time for him to propel fellow stars to the big leagues. Well, I think it's a great idea. You have to remember Brock is near the end of his career, and Omos is near the beginning of his career. Brock's always been in these main event matches with all the top guys. I think now he's at the point in his career where he has to start giving back. Lesnar hasn't been involved in the title proceedings since losing to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam last year. Will the WWE Raw megastar have another chance at the gold? Time will tell. Former champion replacing Bray Wyatt as Bobby Lashley's WrestleMania 39. Bray Wyatt's recent WWE absence has caused quite a lot of concern within the wrestling world. Based on reports, he might even miss WrestleMania 39, which would leave Bobby Lashley without an opponent for the show of shows. WWE is planning a match between them, with the program beginning a week ago. However, following the two-time Universal Champion's disappearance from television, the Almighty might face someone else at WrestleMania instead. Lashley even tweeted that he doesn't care who he will face at the two-night event in Hollywood and that he will be ready. Former WWE superstar Matt Cardona, famously known as Zack Ryder, has responded to the tweet with another tease that he may return to the company. He contemplated taking up Bobby Lashley's apparent challenge, with Bray Wyatt likely out for WrestleMania. Cardona mentioned how his last match in the company was against Lashley, who squashed him on the March 9, 2020 episode of Raw. He was released just over a month later due to budget cuts caused by the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. It would be quite a coincidence if the match actually happens. It will be interesting to see if the former Intercontinental Champion returns to the company, especially after using social media to fuel speculation that he will be back with Triple H in charge of creative. As for Bray Wyatt, there are several rumors about his status amid growing concerns that he won't be at WrestleMania 39. The former Universal Champion was pulled from Sunday's live event at Madison Square Garden, which sparked speculation. While social media believed Wyatt had walked out of WWE due to creative differences, a report from Fightful Select ended that claim for now. He is currently sidelined due to an undisclosed physical issue. However, there is no confirmation of the alleged creative differences. It remains to be seen who will eventually face the Almighty at the show of shows. Do you think Wyatt will be at WrestleMania 39? If not, who will Bobby Lashley face at the show of shows? Leave your predictions in the comments section below. Liv Morgan gets sued. Liv Morgan underwent quite the transformation last year from teaming up with Rhea Ripley to winning her first championship in WWE. During her feud with Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title, the 28-year-old went on an extreme spiral. She added high-flying and seemingly dangerous maneuvers. Since then, WWE has named Liv Morgan the Queen of Extreme. However, she was not the only one. WWE Hall of Famer Lita held that title throughout her career, given her impressive and daring wrestling skills. While the phrase became synonymous with the two, it seems they were not the inaugural custodians of the nickname. Former ECW wrestler Francine recently opened up about her contributions to the brand and her nickname. She was associated with the promotion from 1994 to the early 2000s. Following her departure, the 51-year-old made a couple of appearances in WWE after they acquired ECW. She claimed she would file a cease and desist against WWE, not the individual talents, for using her nickname. So, Morgan is safe from legal troubles. And you know, maybe I'm not doing a lot now, but that's my decision. This is my choice. I'm not busy every week, and that is by choice. I do get a lot of offers. I can be on the road every weekend if I want to be. I cannot because of my family. I physically can't do it. You know, so the little bit that I do, I'm gonna protect it. So I'm not calling the girls out. I'm calling the company out. And I'm saying, listen, that's not your name to use, that's my name. Liv Morgan continues her extreme streak amidst recent matches. She competed in the Women's Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber matches for another title opportunity but was unsuccessful in her bouts. Lita is considered one of the most influential women in WWE during the Attitude Era. Her alliance with Matt and Jeff Hardy, along with her diverse and risk-taking wrestling skills, enabled her to become a trailblazer. Many current talents, including notable names like Bayley, Becky Lynch, and even Liv Morgan, have cited the Hall of Famer for influencing their decisions to choose a wrestling career. Lita's return and teaming up with the man have paved the way for many more dream matches. Last year, Lita went up against Lynch at Elimination Chamber. Shortly after, Morgan discussed the possibility of a dream match between the Hall of Famer and herself. I considered myself such a tomboy, so here's this woman that's working the boys and wearing baggy pants and sneakers. I saw her and thought, you know, maybe she could be my friend. And that's something that I hope to give my fans. But Lita, I feel like we could have an amazing program. Liv Morgan's intense performances had quite the impression on the wrestling world, including her former tag team partner Rhea Ripley. The Eradicator recently picked the 28-year-old as the ideal candidate to potentially join the Judgment Day. Cody Rhodes makes a demand from Roman Reigns. Former Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes demanded Roman Reigns acknowledge him following a major win against LA Knight on the latest episode of Raw. The American Nightmare faced LA Knight on the latest episode of Raw and made short work of the former Impact World Champion. Rhodes is set to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 after winning the Royal Rumble match. Ahead of the bout, the two men came face-to-face on the latest episode of SmackDown. Following the match, Rhodes cut a promo and stated that Heyman warned him to stay out of the Bloodline's business. However, Rhodes said he doesn't work for them, and if he wants to help Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, he will do so. The American Nightmare then said that this has been personal ever since he first stepped foot in the company at the age of 21. He then continued his emotional promo by stating that every time he was in the ring, he was holding back his tears. He also mentioned that he wears a tailored suit because he wants to be somebody. He then noted that he acknowledged the tribal chief and demanded that Reigns do the same thing. He finished his promo by saying that he has waited his whole life for this opportunity and he will beat the undisputed WWE Universal Champion at WrestleMania 39. The rivalry between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes has kept fans on a fever pitch over the past few weeks. It remains to be seen what will go down when the two men confront each other once again, as Reigns will be on Raw as per Paul Heyman. Do you think Cody Rhodes will win at WrestleMania? Sound off in the comments section below. Roman Reigns angry with the Bloodline after WWE Raw. Roman Reigns might not have been thrilled with what happened to the Bloodline after tonight's Raw went off the air. The main event of WWE Raw saw Kevin Owens taking on Solo Sikoa in a street fight. The match ended when the Usos attacked Owens, and Sikoa executed a Samoan spike for a big win. However, the Bloodline leader Roman Reigns wouldn't be pleased with what happened immediately after. The Samoan faction prepared to launch a beatdown on Owens after the show went off the air, with Sikoa setting up a table in the ring. The sneaky Owens grabbed the opportunity and put the enforcer through the table before quickly heading for the backstage area. Despite Sikoa's win, the night ended in embarrassing fashion for the Bloodline. The tribal chief rarely appears on the Raw brand and wasn't a part of tonight's show. He will be present during next week's Raw, though. Reigns and his WrestleMania 39 opponent Cody Rhodes will seemingly come face-to-face on the show mere days before their big match at Mania. At WrestleMania 39, Rhodes will face Roman Reigns in a blockbuster main event for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Rhodes bagged the opportunity to face Reigns when he won the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match earlier this year. For Owens, it looks like he will finally reunite with his former best friend, Sami Zayn, before WrestleMania. The duo will seemingly take on the Usos in tag team action at the Show of Shows. Owens has rejected Zayn's offer for an alliance in the recent past, but the latter has been persistent. It remains to be seen how the master strategist manages to convince Owens to join forces with him to take the Bloodline down. Are you excited about WrestleMania 39? Sound off in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing